Carla here. I'm here to speak to you today about working properly. Now really what we're coming to talk to you about is how you work with cues. Understanding that props are part of your cues. Props are a part of how we teach and help people to understand movement and a movement pattern. I'd like first of all for us to stop and think about the senses of the human body and what those senses mean and how those senses become part of our perception of knowledge. Let me explain. I'm going to give you 3 types of cues, and I want you to think the first thing and write down the first thing that you think of when you see, hear and experience this. First of all, I'm going to tell you something. Orange. Just write it down. Don't care, just write it down. Second, tell me what that sound is. Write it down. It's a mystery sound. Okay? Next, I'm going to give you a visual. Okay, and I know my students normally say to me when I teach them this, white women can't jump. But I want something a little bit more creative than that. But if white women can't jump works for you, that's fine. Now, when I go and ask you all, I suspect I'm going to get some very, very different cues and very different solutions for you. So let's stop and think about this. And I'll let you talk and you can all have a chat about your ideas. But what did we learn from this process? One of them is that those visual, tactile, and audible cues that we give people, they're all open to interpretation. They're all open to the perception that our brain takes in. So when we're working with people from a cueing point of view, and we're working with people from a point of view of what is a prop, we really need to understand how props can help us perceive and understand a concept. Let me explain a little bit more. So just so that you know, this was the sound you're hearing, just in case you didn't know. I like for us all to think that really the reformer is a prop. So let's have a look. Rebecca, can you come on over here? Let's get you just to sit on here. Okay? Now, Rebecca is sitting. I can make her sit anywhere. But if I understand the sensory systems, and let's remember, there are 8. We'll come back to it during the workshop, but there are 8 sensory systems that we need to know. Those sensory systems include the vestibular system, proprioceptors, interoceptors, so that's how your organs work and things like that. Then it includes all of those other senses we've just talked about, from tactile to sound to hearing. All of those other senses are important, but in a Pilates studio setting, when we're working properly, we understand that when Rebecca's sitting on the reformer, you can just swing back and forward. Nice. Yeah, she's just sitting back and forward. Now, I could say that this is a swing, but the reformer, its strength is that it's working within this plane of movement, a vestibular system. The advantage being, this vestibular response happening up here in the brain results in her back extensors working. Isn't that cute? A prop that we use every day in Pilates equipment is one of those important sensory props that helps us get a better response, helping her to get it back. Now throughout the course, we are going to look at all of these different senses and how those senses and how some of the basic props that we use in a class, whether it be a reformer, a yoga block, foot corrector, or even a little dome, can actually be part of how we cue and teach better. So we're not relying on our words and tactile cues. Thank you and enjoy.